Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you very much for joining. This is another episode of JA Talks. My name is Jasam, and this is where we talk about the news that was the past week. Now, we have some top stories to speak about. First of all, Miss Kitty leaves nationwide 90 FM. Empress Golding leaves nationwide 90 FM. Also, Popcaan calls Sharon Burke the devil. And no, devil, not devil. And also, the public sector workers are yet to receive their pay. So stay tuned for more details. So now we begin with Miss Kitty and Empress Golding. On December 21st, both Miss Kitty and Nationwide announced their departure in a statement made by Nationwide News on their Instagram page. They post, Nationwide News Network NNN would like to express thanks to Miss Kitty and Empress Golding for commanding the airways between the hours of 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. and wishes them all the best as they move into the next chapter of their careers. For over a decade, Miss Kitty has entertained us with her wit, charm, and intelligence. She brought an energy that is uniquely hers and no doubt has contributed immensely to the growth and development of Nationwide 90 FM. Since February 2021, Empress Golding has brought her own brand of motivation and charm. And so all while educating us on our history during Nationwide Every Woman show, we are truly better for having her host that show. As we amicably part ways and as they enter the next phase of their careers, Nationwide welcomes the opportunity to publicly wish Miss Kitty and Empress Golding all the best in their future endeavors. The charismatic and talented duo of Kareem Boyatings Weathers and Honika Honeybee Brown will take over the 3 to 5 p.m. spot, while the E-Zone on weekends will start on Monday, January 9, 2023. Miss Kitty's last date of airing will take place on December 31st, 2022, and Empress Golding's last date of airing will be on Friday, December 23rd, 2022 also. That's this Friday. Okay, so I would like to say though, because I have been following Miss Kitty for a good while now actually. I would have come to the knowledge of Miss Kitty through Malcolm Kings and Queens of Dance, and I think most of us as Jamaicans would have come to the knowledge of who Miss Kitty is. When you know she's a la 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 flopping, you know, and I mean, it's been a while. I do recall, because all this took place when she started working at Nationwide. All this took place when I was in high school. I do recall in 2013 when she left RGR 94 FM because what had happened was she had a contract. She was a contracted freelancer with RGR 94 FM, and Squeeze. I think he's an entrepreneur and a radio. He owns a radio station called Link Up Radio, which is in New York. So what would have happened? He reached out to Miss Kitty, and Miss Kitty accepted the offer. And so the agreement was to work for both RGR 94 FM and also Link Up Radio. What would have taken place? RGR 94 never did to take it likely, and they provided her with an ultimatum as to either you're going to work with them or you're going to work with we. Subsequently, she resigned back in 2013. I recall the very first day when she started working for Nationwide. And Nationwide, she was a full-time employee, and she was given the latitude of also working with Link Up Squeeze on Link Up Radio. I remember all of that vividly. I also remember the interview that she did with on stage as well, and she had spoken about that. And she spoke about the fact that she intends on doing law and studying law. This was 2013. So this was like 12 years ago or 11 years ago, I don't know. But over a decade ago, I recall that. And so see, it came to fruition where she has now accomplished her dream of becoming an attorney at law. So, I mean, I undoubtedly know for a fact that wherever she's going to go, she's going to do well. I hope though she's not just going at the law and just, exit media. I hope that she does. She continues to do media. There was a YouTube show that was I don't. It was like interview celebrities, and she was on it. And I think she stated that she a podcast is in the making or in the working. So I have a strong feeling that she may be going into the podcast setting. But I believe that she's going to definitely be within the media. And also, Empress, I recall when she started working last year with Nationwide 90 FM. It's unfortunate that it was short because I mean it's like a 1 year and some months. But it is what it is. We have to do what we have to do, and so it's I guess it's coincidental that both these ladies are leaving, and so whichever I think so. It states that Kareem Boy Things and Honey B will be the ones taking over their slot. So, they have a big shoe to fill, Yeah, so we just want to wish and congratulate Miss Kitty and wish her all the best in her future endeavors. And we know that wherever she goes, she's going to be successful. Alright guys, so on to other news. We have dancehall superstar Popcaan. So now dancehall star Popcaan released a video in which he dissed fellow frontline entertainer Shaggy and accused music insider Sharon Burke, a principal of Solid Agency, of attempting to sabotage his performance at the Burna Boy concert at the National Stadium on Sunday. He also went to Twitter where he tweeted, "Sharon Burke is a devil. Yeah, I said it. #DEVEL devil." Now, I also have a video. We have a video. We're going to have you watch it for a while, and then we're going to get back and discuss it afterwards, all right? So here's a video where he spoke about Sharon Burke, and he also dissed Shaggy.
Yes, morning to everybody. My name is Andre Sadalan, as you know, and I'm taking this opportunity to send a message to Sharon Burke and the Not So Solid Agency. I know exactly what you do the other night at the stadium when you try to sabotage my performance because of personal feelings, and we all know so when you hate one you can't control, and one to have shares and percentage, you see me? Yeah, when you feel like when you can control the industry and put who no one put a number one and put who no one put international. But unruly boss break them spell a long time and show me say me no need enough to do shit. And the fact still remain and control who go international and who stay. I don't know you can't control me already. Yeah, and Shaggy is a bitch. Yeah. Me say that Shaggy is a little bitch.
Alright guys, so I also want to add this because what would have happened, Sharon Burke's attorney would have responded. So Solid Agency attorney demands Popcaan to retract defamatory statements. So Isaac Buchanan, the attorney at law representing Solid Agency, has appealed to dancehall star Popcaan to retract his statement regarding the booking company's principal, Sharon Burke, in reasonable time. And then we have a response from Popcaan's attorney. So Popcaan's lawyer says artist is understandably infuriated after Burna Boy concert issues. Ron Young, the attorney at law representing dancehall star Popcaan, has issued a statement in wake of his clients accusing music insider Sharon Burke, a principal of the Solid Agency of attempting to sabotage the artist's performance at the Burna Boy concert at the National Stadium over the weekend. So now I have several questions, right? So first of all, we need to understand that again he insulted Shaggy. He called Shaggy a bitch, right? No, you're going to make a bold statement like that. My thing is this: public relations is very much important, guys. All right, public relations is extremely important. You have to be mindful and careful of what you say in the public. No, you're going to say Shaggy is a bitch. Well, here's my thing. If it is that you're going to make such a bold statement like that, ensure that you have the receipts to back it up. It cannot be that you're going to make a statement like that. You're going to use an adjective like that without the proper justification to back it up. You understand? That's all I'm saying. So I don't know what the situation is. I don't know. I wasn't there at the Burna Boy concert. I don't know what happened. I'm just going off what what would have been reported. To the best of my knowledge, though, the headliner, what I would have seen, I saw Lila IK, I saw him, Popcaan, and I saw obviously Burna Boy. These persons were the headliner. So I'm not sure why this report is saying that Shaggy was also a headliner. I did not see that, but again, ensure you have your receipts to back it up. That's all I'm saying. And then here is the situation with Sharon Burke. You're going to say that she's a devil. You're going to also, say that she was manipulative and she tried to sabotage. My thing is, again, ensure you have your receipts. And this based on how this looks, this seems as though this is really going to go to the court. Because see, the two of them had them liar. And I'll be very honest with you, I don't think this requires any court. Sharon Burke could as good as just ignore him. I don't really feel like she really needed to do all of this. I get that she would have felt hurt, but just like look on Shenseea, a lot of persons would have said this and that about Shenseea. And Shenseea don't pay them one mind. And Shenseea is still making her money. She's still being successful. So that's my thing. If it is that you really and truly, believe that you did not do any injustice to this individual, to Popcaan, but then again, 6 1 half dozen the other. I am not in that position. I'm not in that shoe. I don't know what it's like. But yeah, it's just a sad situation that it's very unfortunate that this really had to happen and it had to come down to this. Based on what we're seeing here, it doesn't seem as though either of the two are backing down. The two of them are lie up. So Sharon Burke go for Isaac Buchanan and Popcaan draw for Ron Young as their attorneys to represent them. It would seem, because remember, Isaac Buchanan, he's asking for him to retract it. This is not a retraction. The Ron Young is basically saying that he's frustrated. He's understandably frustrated, and that's why he took to social media to gross his differences. Was this the best way? I don't think so. But again, it is what it is. Let us watch and see what happens after this. Alright, now guys, we have our final one. We have Nigel Clark, and so this is a situation where the people have not get the pay. The public sector not get the pay yet. So we have Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark has apologized to thousands of public sector workers who face salary delays. On Wednesday, Dr. Nigel Clark moved to allay anxieties in the public sector over back pays, new salaries due this month, urging that delays not be construed as a crisis. He advised in a hurriedly convened press conference at the ministry that disbursements were made by the Accountant General's Department to the financial institutions of employees of 47 out of the 52 ministries, agencies, and departments as of Wednesday morning, December 22. Now, if that's the case, so if he says that he would have paid 47 out of the 52, then that means 5 either department, agencies, or ministries have not been paid as yet. Now, as of Wednesday, December 22, because we would have received some additional information, this was reported by Dion Jackson Miller on her All Angles program. Some persons have received their salaries. However, there are gross inaccuracies, and some sectors have only gotten paid their base pay, excluding any incentives, overtimes, or benefits that would originally be a part of their compensation package. Now, let me tell you something that is very annoying. We're in the Christmas season. Now, this is what I note, right? I note that it is customary for public sector, and not just public sector workers, but anybody who is normally salaried, right? It is customary for you to get paid early in December, because December is the Christmas season and you want everybody to be able to prepare for the Christmas. All right, cool. What normally happens though when you get paid early is that you know what they call it, you have to wait the 4 months of January, because you would normally get paid 2 weeks early in December, and you have to wait an additional 4 weeks in January to get paid. So you're waiting 6 whole weeks, so which is, the wait is very long. Now, at first when this news broke out, my first reaction, because I was saying to myself, public sector workers normally get paid on the 25th. The 25th of December is going to be this Sunday, so therefore the public sector workers will get paid, likely to be paid this Friday, no later than this Friday. If that is the case where they're getting paid this Friday and they're getting their full pay, that would include their incentives, any compensation package, or anything that is the overtime, or all of that. If that's the case, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with that. And again, my reason for that, it would help a lot of persons, because remember, people are dead for hungry because they spend up their money on the Christmas tree, and you have to wait the 4 months of January. So instead of waiting 6 weeks to get paid, you now have to wait 4 weeks. And remember, prior to December, for the other 11 months of the year, you have to wait 4 weeks to get paid. So, it wouldn't be so bad. But what is really awful, though, is the fact that persons are just getting their base pay. There's a lot of discrepancies and inaccuracies in their pay. This is my thing, right? People, you cannot play with people money. I recall, similarly, NCB had something similar to this back in 2019. It was in May 2019, I recall very vividly, and I think it's the CEO or the manager of NCB would have had to send out an apology, because anybody who would have gotten paid through NCB, their pay would have been delayed. I recall it vividly. They were supposed to get paid on the Friday, and they got paid on the Sunday. And how I remember this vividly, I was supposed to go on a beach trip with my friends, and I got paid through Scotiabank, so that wasn't the problem. But my friends, in order for them to go on the trip, they would have needed to be paid, and they didn't get paid, and we had to cancel the trip. So it is very much inconvenient. Similar situation. This is a case where you get paid, but you don't get their full pay. People have bills to pay. The fact is, people have them bills to pay. You can't do this to people, right? Christmas will come, people want to spend their money. What's the problem? So the reason this would have taken place was because of the new compensation package, which I welcome. It's a good thing that you're increasing the salaries of the public sector workers. I do hope that the private sector takes note as well and increase our salary as well, so we can get extra money. But yeah, it is very sad because, and when we talk about the compensation package, because remember, for example, there are some persons, like there are principals who are travel officers, and so travel officers will get like gas money. So let's say, I'm just going to use for an example, you get your base pay is $80,000, and you get extra $50,000 for gas money. And really and truly, you're not spending so much money on gas, you spend probably like $20,000 gas. So therefore, of that $50,000 you're spending, you have an extra $30,000 for yourself. And chances are people use that for pay other bills, because in all honesty, costs are living high. So when you don't pay the people their full salary, they're greatly inconvenienced, and something is not going to be paid for. You can imagine, a parent would have made a promise, or not just a parent, but any person who is working, you maybe would have taken something on a loan, or made a promise or something to pay for something, made a future financial plan for December, only to have to abort it, or maybe have to go take out some from a loan because you did not get the sufficient funds in order to cover all of your expenses. That is very inconvenient. It is extremely inconvenient. And so, really and truly, that is extremely unfortunate, and we're calling on the government to fully rectify this. As a matter of fact, we cannot afford to wait until the 25th of January to pay the difference, to retroact it. No, we can't do that. We cannot do that, right? So the government is going to have to work up a way if say, all right, then maybe pay them next week or something. The difference, the retroactive pay, then must be paid no later than next week. You cannot do this to people. And also as well, And this is also for us, anybody who is a part of the Jamaican labor force, right? This is an indicator that we need to have multiple sources of income as well. It can't be the case where we are depending on one source of income. And I know a lot of us, especially in Jamaica, there is this narrative that public sector worker, government work is secure. Well, here it is that we have a prime example of anything can happen and you don't know what can happen. Yes, this has never, to the best of my knowledge, this has never happened before, but again, anything can happen. Any cat can play. Bar around, any cat can play. So it is incumbent for us as individuals to take the initiative to try as best as possible to diversify our income. And when I say diversify our income, well, because some people for some reason believe that they should just save, and don't get me wrong, saving is good, don't get me wrong, but you need to be able to have something other than just saving. Again, emergencies do happen, and it's not a case of if it happened or if unfortunate or unforeseen circumstances do happen. It's a case of when it does happen. COVID-19 would have taught us this. So it is incumbent for all of us, it is most imperative for all of us as individuals, as long as you are a part of the working class, the labor force of Jamaica, that whether it may be public or private, that we try our best as possible to diversify our income and try to have multiple streams of income. Gone are the days when you're one salary, and I think what would have happened is that we would have been taught as individuals to go to school, get an education. When we don't get the education, we go to we find a wife or find a husband, we get married. When we get married, we have kids. From that one salary, we were supposed to get married, buy a house, buy a car, buy land, go on vacation. From that one salary, and then we work, we join the rat race and we work until we get old and then retire. From that, them days are gone. Them days are gone for 19 or long. The cost of living is high, right? I see people on average, the average person in Jamaica is getting the average educated person, let me make it clear, in Jamaica is getting like $100,000 monthly, right? Degree that is. And I'm seeing rent for $80,000. Now, if me pay $80,000 out of my $100,000, me I'm not left. We're going to be hungry, especially in Kingston. So it is incumbent for us, things and time, and as we know, it is projected to be, there's projected to be an external shock or recession. We need to have an extra source, multiple streams of income. Alright, so that is it for today at JA Talks. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us for another episode of JA Talks. It was indeed my pleasure sharing the news of what would have taken place over the past week. Now, before I leave, I just want to leave this with you guys. Your independence is the foundation of your liberation. Thank you very much for joining. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.